everybody, and welcome back to Rapture. I hope you're having a lovely day today. I was once again duped by my lovely casts as there was a costume discussion that I was not made aware of. So we're going to do introductions again because, I think they should elaborate on what's happening here since I wasn't included, so I don't know anything about it. So, Toby, why don't you start us out? Tell us who you're dressed as tonight.
Why you gotta be me? I'm Toby. I play Fringe. I'm currently dressed as Chrona, which is Sin's character. Look dramatic, but it won't last, trust me. Brooke.
Hi, I'm Brooke. I play Lily, but tonight I am dressed as Fringe because I love them. Enough said. Hulda.
Hi, my name is Hulda. I am dressed as the scariest character in this campaign, Lily. A casual little sweet pie that would destroy the world. Kayla.
That's me last time I checked, and I play Amaris, but today I'm dressed up as Eva, your favorite cottagecore therapist? Comfort character? And then I'm not, but God, words are hard. But you know who is dressing up as Amaris? My spouse, Sin.
It's got a lot of implications to it.
Hello, I'm Sin. I play Chrona, and I went to therapy, and I'm putting myself in my wife's shoes this week. Yeah.
And I'm your game master, Alec the Bard, who wasn't told about any of this. I was wondering why you all joined the Discord call and nobody was turning their cameras on. And I was just kind of sitting there. I was like, well, I guess I'll just leave mine on, but everybody else has theirs off. This is weird, but fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
We're extra shy today.
Yeah.
Well, let's pick up right where we left
technical
off.
difficulties, I guess.
Oh, is it?
That got sorted, and they're all sorted now.
Let's pick up with some technical difficulties, and by that technical difficulty, I mean you all decided to go and confront one of the heralds who walked through another door. And upon your initial confrontation with them, it seemed like they had overpowered Lily a bit, and Amaris attempted to try to calm things down, but then ended up getting ran through by Veritas, as Veritas has taken out their 6'4" sword and jammed it through Amaris's chest. So we're going to pick up right there. Amaris, you've been stabbed. What do you do?
Okay. So this is going to be a little bit of a journey. And I just need you all to sit on the roller coaster and just be there. Okay? So, in my head, Amaris was reaching out to grasp this herald's face, thinking that she successfully was like, yeah, worship me, right? Mm-hmm. Only for it to go completely wrong and be ruined, and now is being stabbed. So she's still like in this like cave-in momentum.
Mm-hmm.
And this herald, Amaris can see people's threads, right? That's how she describes it, seeing what makes them them, what they care about, who they are, what motivates them, connecting into disappearing or to other people or things. And God, this herald has spinning beautiful threads. This power, these powerful threads. And Amaris is used to moving and tying and shifting threads when she needs to inspire, to seduce, to move things along. But in this moment, as this badass sword is being literally shoved through her chest, there's this flash of desperation. And time seems to slow down. And in her hands, I'd like to use a new ruin move that I have called Tremble Before Me. But I'd like to flavor it as a reaction a little bit, okay? So, in Amaris's hands, a mix between like a shear and like this big scissors forms, right? And for the first time, she is going to attempt to sever a thread. Because she has this herald has beautiful threads and Amaris has none. How dare this herald come here and threaten what she loves, threaten possible cults, her future? How dare she have such a strong sense of self and duty and righteousness when all Amaris has is nothing but pain and hatred towards herself? How dare she have these threads? How dare she? And in this act of desperation, this sheer forms, and she is going to unleash some of her true form and kernel of power and is going to attempt to sever a significant portion of whoever this herald is. And you can decide if this is like a temporary stun, if it's like a permanent loss of a part of them, their identity, what drives them. Think of it like a instant wave of depression and nothingness as she severs the thread closest to her.
Okay. So for Tremble Before Me, you are gonna unleash. You have to unleash the dark first.
Okay.
But if you want to use Tremble Before Me, you can basically take one ruin and just basically count the roll as 8 to 10.
Okay.
Yes, it's the way that Tremble Before Me works. So you can roll if you want. If you don't want to add a ruin.
I'll take the 8 to 10 because that's like the good range, right?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, then I would like to take that in this
Right.
desperate, hateful reaction.
So
She doesn't think
you're
she
hoping
just
to
does.
stun them, because basically you can choose 4 things from that list, from the
Okay.
8 to 10 list on Unleash the Dark. So you can get past their defenses and inflict a condition. You can get what you want from them, which, stun them or whatever that may be. You can avoid reprisals, harm, or cost. You can gain the upper hand for now, expose a weakness or flaw, or confuse them for some time. So you get to choose 4 options.
I would like
with
to
Tremble Before
confuse them
Okay?
to begin.
Okay.
Maybe that manifests as all of a sudden this drive that they held, right? This duty.
I've got
It's
an
gone.
idea for what thread you
It's
said.
gone. And then I'd like to gain an upper hand.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to. What were the other ones?
The other
I
ones
don't
were
know where they were.
you can inflict a condition, you can get what you want from them, avoid reprisals, harm, or cost.
What would reprisal of harm and cost be?
Essentially, like, imagine you've just attacked someone, and now they're going to get you back. They're gonna try to strike you. Like they're gonna try to counterattack you. So you can avoid that somehow because of how strong the stun will be.
I would like to do that. Give her a little bit of a buff, and then I get one more. What are the remaining options?
The remaining options are get past their defenses and inflict a condition. Get what you want from them, or expose a weakness or flaw.
Okay, wait. What ones have I picked so far?
You have picked confuse them for some time, gain the upper hand, and avoid harm.
Okay. What would be helpful to the group? I'm sorry. Could you read the remaining ones one more time? I don't have the list in front of me,
You're
and
okay.
I'm trying to
So
conceptualize all of these options.
You can get past their defenses and inflict a condition. You can get what you want from them.
What would that be?
What do you want from them?
Like, get what? I guess she wants them to stop.
That's part of it, but you've already kind of covered that by stunning them.
So
is there something else that you want, or you can expose a weakness or flaw?
Let's do weakness. Let's exploit.
Okay. So you sever this thread. Now, do you know after you've touched the thread, do you understand what that thread was? Because you were trying to cut the thing that they treasure the most, right?
Yeah, she went towards the biggest, shiniest thread with her scissors, but she's never severed a thread before.
Okay.
This is new. This is completely new.
So because you know what threads, you can see the threads and see what they are. That thread that you just cut out of panic and trying to save yourself and your friends. Desperation, you cut. Veritas told you she was here to handle the populace. Veritas had a great love for the people of this world. is in whatever twisted fashion that may have been, it was her job to basically get the people in line in whatever way it may have been. But that love you see in the last moments as you do this is severed. So you sever her love for the people of this world.
Uh-oh.
And this sends you see like a physical shockwave roll through Veritas's body as she drops to her knees. The sword is still in your chest because it's so long that even if she goes to the ground, you're going to have to pull yourself off, which I think you will be able to at the point. But you see, her eyes are as wide as dinner plates. She's kind of panting at this point, staring at the ground. And the weakness that is exposed, as you're looking down on her, you severed this thread. You see she's panting, she's kind of freaking out a little bit. Is you just notice what looks like, it's not like any other thread you've seen before. As you see this thread almost ethereal, where it's this kind of light blue color that trails up. It goes kind of basically from her back, almost like a string of a puppet, and back and up. It's like if you didn't do what you just did, you probably would have never seen it. But you see this kind of almost outline, almost like ghost thread, kind of go from her back all the way up. Like it's heading towards the heavens.
Ooh. All right.
What are the rest of you doing? As you see, Amaris has been stabbed, and then suddenly this person drops to their knees. What are the rest of you doing?
I think Eva definitely runs towards Amaris.
Mm-hmm.
Because the first thing she feels is help.
Mm-hmm.
To help, so she's going to run towards Amaris, and she's just gonna is the person that stabbed her holding her in any sort of way when
not
they fall
anymore
down, or
not anymore. So essentially the best way I can describe this is this person is on their knees now at this point, but the blade is so long that it's still basically through Amaris's chest out her back. So the blade is just kind of limp in her hands, but Amaris is still impaled.
Okay, very sexy.
Because the blade is 6'4", 6 feet 4 inches. It's a huge fucking sword.
Yeah.
So it's still very much inside Amaris.
Mm-hmm. It's very cute. So she's definitely gonna go towards Amaris, and she's gonna try to hold her by the waist so she doesn't fall any other way, so it doesn't hurt her. And if I can, I would like Eva to reach down towards the ground and try to find something that can help.
Okay.
Use her powers, to reach into and just be find something that could help.
You immediately basically because you also see Amaris is bleeding profusely.
Yeah.
There is a pool.
I'm not a healer, but I can try to help.
The bottom of her dress is soaked in her own blood, as is her chest, as the blood has.
This was one of my favorites.
But you're able to basically find bandages. You pull your hand back and you
Mm-hmm.
find a wrap, something that you'll be able to wrap Amaris's chest with.
But I haven't. But I'm a bit hesitant taking her off the sword, because in my head it's if we take her off the sword, she's going to bleed even more. So having the sword inside of her is keeping the organs and everything kind of intact. So I don't think bandages will help. But this right now,
they will help. It's okay. Once Lily sees Eva pull out the bandages, she's kind of slumped in Fringe's arms. Can you float us over, please?
They will move with you kind of scooped up. They will move over to Eva.
Can I staunch the blood flow on either side of the wound, both the entry and exit wounds, so that it no longer flows outwards? It's almost like a pseudo cauterization, so that it just no longer flows freely outward.
Yeah, what does that look like?
I think Lily, just still slumped in Fringe's arms, kind of holding onto their forearm for support, just gently places a hand over where the sword is impaling her. and just presses once forcefully in a way that looked like it would be intensely painful. But as she does, it just cracks and flakes upward as the liquid dries and almost floats off like cherry blossoms.
Very cute.
Okay.
You
So
can pull it out.
the bleeding has been stemmed.
Okay. And Heather kind of looks at her powers and being like, that wasn't quite helpful, was it? And she kind of throws it. She's like, I feel the gods were mocking me at this point.
She's still going to have a hole in her. You can wrap the bandages there. I'm sure she won't want to look at it.
Eva has an office moment as she looks into the camera. And then she goes back. But yeah, Eva is, I'm just gonna say now, I don't think Eva's strong enough to pull out a 6'4" sword out of someone's body.
Prop me up. Lily, 5'2", walking on over, like, okay.
Holding her under the arms like a toddler.
Like Fringe, holding Lily under the arms like a toddler as she braces and just yanks.
Okay.
Eva holds Amaris from the other side, so she just keeps her stable and then just starts.
Does that hurt?
It hurts like a bitch.
Oh, it
It
hurts.
Oh
hurts
yeah,
so bad.
Amaris screams.
It would hurt even more if you started dying, and then you just start wrapping around.
Chrona, what are you doing?
So I have a quick question.
Yeah,
I can take other people into my tower, right?
of course you can. Yeah.
Could I grab this herald and just yeet myself into this tower?
Ooh. Shit,
Yeah.
babe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yo.
what does it look like, Chrona?
I am during the chaos of all of this happening. There's a slight moment where Chrona flinches hearing Amaris scream, but it really only strengthens my resolve as I grip the collar of her shirt and pull her back as we enter the dark part of my tower.
Okay. So before I get to that, the four of you see Chrona and Veritas vanish.
Okay.
No.
It's okay. Just Amaris, just breathe, okay? Just breathe.
And she
just
looks
starts
down
timing.
and just
Don't look down. Don't look down. Don't look down. Okay? You really love this dress, correct? We can find something to replace it with. All right.
Where's
It's
Fringe?
behind?
I'm holding on to Lily.
So behind you.
Amaris raises.
Oh, okay.
No, her eyes, not her body.
Okay.
Yep. No, Mars is just like, I'm gonna dance right now. No, and literally stares into the depths of Fringe's soul. Can you get to them?
I assume I know where Chrona's gone.
Yeah. There's only one place that they would have gone that you that you know of. Yeah.
And I've got easy access to that.
Feasibly.
Yeah. Fringe will nod. I can go there.
Get back, please.
Fringe will very slowly put Lily down
Can
just
you
to
take
make
me
sure
with
that
you?
she's not hurt.
Can you take me with you?
I can.
Great. We're going then.
They look like they want to say something, but they keep their mouth shut. We shouldn't be long. Fringe is going to turn around to where the initial kind of doorway had been opened, lift their hands and kind of tear open a rift in reality, a bit more forcefully than they would usually do so, in order to get there quickly. But they are very much going after Chrona.
Okay. So before there were some moments while that conversation was happening that Chrona was alone in the tower with Veritas. So we're gonna cover that really quick. So Chrona, you've pulled Veritas into your tower. And you see she begins to kind of shake her head and kind of like grips her temples as she like blinks looking around. What do you do? You surmise in your mind you have moments before she's probably ready to act again.
The sword did not come with her, right?
Yeah, because they pulled
Perfect.
Amaris off of it. No, the sword did come with her.
Um,
She has the sword. Yeah, it was in her hand. They pulled Amaris off the sword.
I am going to just very calmly do a little crouch down the way you do when you're about to like bend down to a kid and be like, "Hey, buddy." And I'm gonna lower my sunglasses, and you're gonna see the eyes go pure white as a third eye starts to open on Chrona's forehead. I know you have a job, but you don't touch my fucking wife. And I would like to unleash my darkness and use Reshaped by Despair as like the arm starts kind of cracking as Chrona is saying that.
Okay. Can you roll? Do you roll for this? Is this on your? Is this a move on yours? Can you roll Unleash the Dark? Yeah. Please go ahead and roll Unleash the Dark.
I've been rolling like shit all week.
2d6.
9.
A 9. Okay, so that's pretty good. You wield the darkness with control and ease. So what does this move do? This specific move?
So a lot of my original form kind of starts breaking out, and it's almost kind of beautiful, but it's very much like a destructive energy that starts to kind of just surround Chrona.
Mhm.
And I'm able to either uncover a key, gain their affection or adoration, or gain their fear and loathing, or I can see into their soul, which is something I would like to try doing.
You want to see into their soul?
Mm-hmm.
So you see into their soul. And are you looking for anything specific?
I want to see if there's something that would just shatter her confidence or her ability to do her job, or if there's something I could even say to make her pause even on this mission.
So that thing that made her pause has already been taken, you see, by your wife. As you see, as it's almost like this weird, as you look into this soul, you're looking into the soul of this celestial being. It's this very strange sight. But you can see, what's the best way to put this? There was once a field of flowers, essentially. Like you're looking at a field of flowers. And where you can perceive this was once a garden to be nurtured. You now see flowers stomped on, flowers torn apart. The flowers are dead. Like you can see the love that she had, which was probably one of her greatest kind of weaknesses, because she had a love for the people, has been taken, or has been severed. And you see Veritas slowly look up to meet your gaze. You know, her yellow eyes basically like just flaring at this point. There was a bit of kind of kindness to her eyes, even though she's here to do a really messed up job. There was a bit of kindness to her eyes initially, but you see her eyes are puffy with like basically like what looks like tears. Like she looks like she's crying, but it's blood that's coming down her face. As she goes, "Let me show you your wife." As she taps you basically like right here. And I'm going to roll her to Unleash the Dark really quick. And then that's when the group is going to show up. She rolled a 7, so that's a failure. Greatly, okay. So you see she's a bit too weak as she touches basically right here. And this kind of rush of, you don't see anything. You don't see anything, but you get an anxiety about what you've been avoiding talking to Amaris about. I'm not going to make you mark a condition because she failed. But everything that kind of filled your mind after Amaris' confession to you when you first came back together. All the things that whatever that was for Chrona, the film filled their mind, is now just kind of sits really heavy on your heart. As you hear this ripping noise behind you. As we see our good friends, who all came through the portal with Fringe. Lily, Fringe, did Amaris and Eva stay behind? Or did you come with?
I thought we stayed behind. I thought it was only Fringe and Lily that
Okay.
went through.
I'm
That's
down
right.
for whatever.
That's what I
Stay
thought.
behind.
I was just double checking.
It scares me, but I'm okay with it.
All right, Fringe and Lily, you arrive. Sin, would you mind describing what they see?
Oh god. You see this kind of like hunched over what is somewhat reminiscent of Chrona, but like their hair is almost like on end like those main characters in anime where it's just up and sticking out. You see black smoke is surrounding their left arm, and you see like their face is almost like an image of pure darkness. Just kind of hanging out, squatting down, having a little chit chat.
Oh no.
And you hear this tear behind you, Chrona, as you see Fringe and Lily step into your tower.
Initially, Fringe is just gonna stand there and look around. It's just like
Nice condo you got here.
nice pad.
In a moment of panic, I would like to mimic her move and touch her forehead. And holding the feelings of the last few days and thinking about the time that I've been spending with Fringe these last 2 days, I would like to use Walk With Me in Dreams as I tap her forehead.
What does that do?
It's a new playbook move.
Watch
Thank
the
you.
DM scramble.
As the DM scrolls to find this move.
It's in the found, I think.
What is it? What is it called again?
Walk With Me in Dreams.
You have learned how to travel through portals. Okay. All right. Do a roll for it. Yeah, go for it.
Oh god. 8?
An 8. So you find exactly what you're looking for. You can choose 2. You can unearth a secret. You implant a suggestion that shifts reality. You hide something in the dream. You bring back something from the dream. You declare an irrevocable truth about the mystery that you learn from the dream, or you rewrite or add a facet of mystery that reflects this truth.
I would like to implant a suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to basically make it seem as if she's a week early and she has to return and come back in a week.
Okay.
If I can.
Okay. So you see she kind of blinks. I'm not supposed to be here yet.
You're not. And I look at her and I transfer the image of my project in her mind as the second move.
But it looks like you have things well in hand.
My progress isn't done yet.
And she just kind of like looks around Chrona to see Lily and Fringe. I will see you soon. And you see as she just kind of fades into this almost like little balls of like this blue ethereal light as she just kind of fades backwards and away.
Oh.
And Chrona, what I will tell you is, as soon as she gets back to wherever she is, she's gonna figure out what you did.
Perfect.
It's like a charm spell once it fades, or once they're confronted with the truth. So we leave Chrona, Lily, and Fringe in the tower. And then we're going to jump back to the material plane. What are the three of you doing?
It's 2.
3 of us.
I'm talking to the people in the tower right now, really quick, and then we're going to jump back to the material plane.
Oh.
Yep, sorry.
Chrona,
That makes way more sense.
Chrona's gonna fall right on their butt, just exhausted. That was more energy than they've had to use in a while.
And she's just gonna grab you. Just straight on, like, we're going, effectively. They don't seem to care that Chrona looks different or is tired. It's like, we've got priorities somewhere else, effectively, but they are just silently like, let's go.
Lily, what are you doing?
Just looking around the tower very casually.
Yeah, where are you keeping it?
In a side room. It's not like out in the open.
Okay. I will say, Lily specifically, being in this place, Chrona can't feel it because it's not the way their power set works. But you feel in this place malevolence. Like a really overwhelming sense of it.
She's gonna just roll her shoulders back and kind of... What are you keeping in here?
Progress.
Sometimes philosophy books do smell quite evil.
I mean, good is really subjective.
Are you really going to do this to me specifically? This lecture?
I mean, you're the one who's been grappling with whether or not violence has a justification.
I grapple with nothing.
Is that why you pretend to be okay with your emotions?
Yes. Thank you for noticing.
I do not want to hurry you, but Amaris and Eva need us.
Of course, Fringe.
I don't like this tower.
I don't either. I don't think you're safe here. We should go.
And just scooping Chrona up, like, yay!
So we're going to cut back to the material plane while all this is happening. So Eva and Amaris, what are the two of you doing?
Eva is definitely like trying to assure Amaris a lot, like, they're going to be fine. Just remember to breathe. You're going to heal quicker than usual. As, you know, this can't be your first time getting stabbed by a sword, is it? Powerful god like you? Getting into trouble?
I think Amaris is kind of like heaving.
You're like, okay.
As it's hard to breathe when you've been stabbed through.
Yeah,
Even
she's
as a
like,
god.
You're like, you know, you're breathing. I don't care in what way you're breathing. You are definitely breathing. Now, do you think you're able to stand up? Would you like to sit down here for a second?
She like moves to like sit, and I think as this like situates and she puts her weight kind of down to be like, let's sit, you watch as the darkness on one of her hands stretches up, reaching past her elbow. The blackness that was spreading, veins begin to climb up, kissing her jawbone.
Ooh.
As tears well in her eyes, and she lets out this like hiccup, like sob.
So as she starts crying, Eva just like takes out like a napkin and just starts like patting her tears away, trying to like protect the makeup. Just girly things in the bathroom, you know, after you've been stabbed. Like, okay, you've been stabbed, but must keep the makeup on fleek, okay? Keep it together. This is not an aesthetically pleasing place to cry, okay? We can go somewhere else afterwards. No, that's just Hulda speaking. So Eva reaches again down, and she's going to try to find an herb or something she can make tea out of to dull the pain.
Yeah, I think that's easy enough. Yeah,
she just
that's
reaches
something
down.
that you... Easy.
Yeah, and just starts. She also tries to find a teapot with hot water in it.
Oh yeah. So
It's
there's
just-
some
it's
some
like
guy
the
in a city
world is
who
her
like
Mary
turns around and
Poppins
is like,
bag.
what the
Where's
fuck?
my teapot?
That's my teapot. Yeah. So yeah, find a teapot and some
Yeah.
herbs.
The
Yeah.
world is my Mary Poppins bag, baby. As she makes her a cup of tea, like, this will dull the pain. Please drink it. I know it won't be easy, but you need to. I said,
I don't-
please.
I don't deserve it. It didn't
It's not about deserving or
work.
not.
No, it didn't work. You don't understand. It didn't work. She was supposed to kneel at my feet, and it didn't work.
Right now, you know, it's quite difficult to look at your reflection in a stormy waters. All right, so let's drink this tea so the water's calm and your conscience is clear. Because right now it won't be.
I don't deserve to have a clear
I don't
conscience.
care.
I don't
don't
want the
care.
tea. I don't deserve the tea.
You don't want the tea, you don't deserve it, or is it your own lack of? I don't know. Is it your own insecurities or your own? Who's?
She
Whose voice-
flinches.
Ah, all right. So the goddess of love, the one of the most powerful, the most beautiful people in the world, don't think they're deserving of a cup of tea.
She just closes her eyes. This like
So you'd like to punish yourself to sit in this pain instead of actually doing anything about it. You're a lot of things, but you're not a coward. Drink the tea. Please.
she takes it, but she doesn't look you in the eye.
She doesn't have to. And she'll just sit there and be like, well, your situation, as she kind of looks down at the wound, but you know she's not talking about the wound. Is there anything that we can do to hinder that, or is that something to do with your heart missing?
Thought it had to do with my heart being gone, but if it's not something I can get back, then I suppose there's nothing we can do.
Now, this started spreading after you hurt yourself, correct? Or has this been spreading slowly over time? Because I've never seen it spread that quickly before.
My ring finger turned black the first time I cheated on them.
And you said you used your powers due to wanting the other god to kneel for you, correct?
Yes.
So I
it's a
guess.
simple command I used to.
However, would you say both of those things were selfish in nature? And do you think it might be spreading for you acting on those selfish choices that are making it more difficult? Or, you know, making you hurt more? Making you think that you deserve this pain? Which is, of course, completely wrong. And if you think that you do deserve it, I do have a free schedule due to the world ending.
Amaris doesn't laugh, but that got me. Hey, the world is ending. Want some therapy? I think it's consequences catching up to me.
Well, if it was consequences catching up to you, not to be rude, I think you'd already be gone. I think it's the consequences of your actions now that are causing it, not your past situations. Do you know what I mean?
She shakes her head.
Right, so if this was the case before your heart was taken or before you cheated on your husband, then, you know, I'm guessing you would have become a lot more, shall we say, infected, cursed. I don't know the words that we should be using for this. Which one would you prefer that dampens the severity of it all?
imperfect?
Oh, I wouldn't say that. That's not the word I'm looking for.
But it's the
No.
truth.
It's no. Mm. That's a really unhelpful word. Imperfect. It's because it's not an imperfection. It's something that's actually killing you, and that's something completely different. An imperfection is the cracked cup. Black veins going through you is a bit different than a cracked cup. Let's call it an infection. It'll be easier. So, if you're, doing selfish actions after it happened, and that is the cause of the infection spreading, that means you have to deal with the consequences of now instead of before. So, work harder to not give in now. If you need a moral compass, I'm sure that, we can help you with that.
Why?
Why not?
I don't deserve your kindness.
Well, that's my kindness to give. It's nothing to do with what you deserve or not, or what I'm willing to give to you.
I don't know how to fix it.
Well, you're not supposed to figure that out alone either, are you? Well, one step at a time. Try not to ask other gods to kneel for you, and I think we'll be pretty good. Yeah? And then, you'll heal from your excruciating stab wound from a 6'4" sword, and then you'll feel so much better.
That did hurt a lot.
That looked so awful. That looked incredibly, incredibly painful. That was not deserving. That was not nice.
I just think I need to close my eyes for a little bit.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Is the tea working? Do you feel a bit better? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of takes a shawl and makes a pillow. Okay. Now you can't fall asleep, just in case something bad happens. Don't know what my boss is doing at this moment. Don't think you can catch your soul.
Do you think they're gonna come back soon? Do you think Chrona's okay?
There's the rip as Chrona and friends step back through.
Well, I think you answered that question yourself, didn't you? Right, so we would so how did it go? Did you do something fun? Did you get some answers?
They run away.
Mm-hmm. Oh, lovely. But you're all right, correct? All three of you? No
They're
other stab
probably
wounds?
going to come back.
As they always do. But that is fine. You know what we're up against now, correct?
No.
We know what we're up against.
Glass half full. Now, are there any more gods we have to attack today, or can we maybe take a break from all the stabbing and the and she kind of points at Amaris, infections and all of that fun stuff. And I do say fun stuff in a sarcastic way, just to make that clear.
I think Lily's gonna look right at Chrona. And very quietly. I understand that we're at odds at the moment. But I won't have you punish both you and your wife by not checking on her right now. So whatever self-pity you're wallowing in, I recommend you place it aside and go talk to her.
Luna's jaw is just gonna clench. And they're gonna clench their fist and give Lily a little bit of a side eye before they kind of calm their appearance down.
There you go.
And they are going to walk over very stiff and awkwardly and just sit beside Amaris but not say anything.
Okay. Amaris, you feel this presence sit next to you. I don't know if you open your eyes to look or anything, but there's someone sitting on the ground next to you.
Her eyes are closed, but there's silent tears, I think, streaming down her face. And if Chrona will let her, I think kind of like instinctively, she'll like shift to like lay her head on like Chrona's like shoulder or arm. If that's okay. And if the vibes aren't there, then she won't do that.
Chrona's gonna stiffen slightly at first and kind of slouch and let it happen.
Eva whispers to Lily, "This is such a great bonding experience for the two of them.
Really?
I know it's very dramatic and very bad, but it looks like they're really slowly starting to heal that.
I was a little bit mean. I think I could have been nicer, but I think it was a good thing at the end.
No, sometimes I think you did a good job. Your intentions were clear and kind. You know,
I
and
need to talk to you later. There's
Oh,
something,
okay.
it's not really the vibe right now, but there's something super fucking evil in that tower, and it might kill us all. So that's what I meant about, like, we know what we're up against. Chrona's doing something really bad.
What are we talking about?
Hi, Fringe. We're talking about how
Dinner.
Chrona might be harboring
dinner. We are
Oh,
talking about
okay.
dinner.
We're lying.
Talking
Okay.
about dinner, and that I will be making us some soup later. She looks at Lily, just like, not the vibe. Not the vibe.
It's liar's soup. You think it's noodles, but it's really potatoes.
Exactly. One of my favorites. And she just does like a like a to Lily, like a child.
Fringe
will
is
teach-
just like blank stare.
Yeah.
Like,
We will teach you
I
how to
don't
eat
know
that
what
Fringe.
means.
That's okay. It's going to almost be like tea, but we will teach you to eat it in small doses.
It's
You
liquid, but
said
you
I
eat
wasn't allowed any more tea.
I said you were allowed tea if you didn't burn yourself, but we're going to take this slowly, alright?
Is Amaris okay?
She will be.
Fringe, can you roll me 2d6?
Oh,
I've just realized now that I don't have any of my dice out. So I'm just like,
I will
Why?
say the second Lily started
Why?
lying to Fringe, her entire body like locked up for the first time. Like,
What is this roll for? Is it for that? What is it
No,
for?
no, I'm just
No?
making.
That's an
God.
8.
It's an 8.
God.
So as you're like, is Amaris okay? You swear you see, just for a moment, like almost like a ghost, kind of run past this young girl with lavender hair, just kind of run past, and she's gone. And you can swear you know that person. You knew that person. They're there and then they were gone. They were like basically had long lavender hair in pigtails as they just kind of like ran past, like laughing, and then they were gone. Not a scary laugh, not a spooky, horror movie kid laugh. It was just like it was like a genuine, like warm bit of laughter, and you could swear you knew that person. Yeah, it's just almost like deja vu for a moment. That's all.
I think they when like you scare like a cat and they like puff up, like the feathers on the sides of their head just and they are just staring off like past everyone as they're talking about soup, completely lost interest, and is now just staring out.
Eva's going to read that as him being really concerned for Amaris because the last thing he asks is Amaris okay? And then we just poof with the feathers like, oh my, no, she's going to be so fine. She'll be so okay. Don't you worry, Fringe. And like Emma's like, oh yeah, and her. So I'm like, I'm so touched and he really cares about people. He's really learning.
what's wrong?
They just shake their head, kind of pull their hood up over their ears, so to try and hide the feathers a little bit.
I'm fine. Are we leaving?
We can, unless there's anything else you'd like to do in this.
They might
Weird
come back.
place.
If we are still here, they will kill Amaris.
Fantastic. Who's strong enough to maybe carry her? I while she's just healing. Fringe, fantastic. Let's just do that and let's get out of this mess.
Hiddle
Okay.
floats over and just like bridal carry Amaris.
Chrona, what is your body language as Amaris gets lifted away from you?
Gasp.
I stiffen, but this time more so as if in fear that she is leaving again. But see Fringe's shadow and realize that someone else is just helping carry her, and I'm still stiff, but I'm logically working through it and just kind of looking and watching silently.
Okay. Are you heading back to Eva's cottage?
Yeah, I think
That
so. I
that
think
seems
it's like
to
a
have become
safe.
the home base.
It's the
The
home
fort
base.
is
All right,
there.
guys.
The fort is there,
Pillow
okay?
fort is there. The most important piece of, prop to set build that we need in this game.
So is everybody heading back to the cottage, Chrona included?
Yes.
All right. So you all are now back at the cottage. The pillow fort is still there. The four of you are now together. What do you do? The five of you are now together. What do you do?
Gonna
Eva's-
lay Amaris on her
Yeah.
lounging bed she has made up from last time.
I was going to look at Amaris's wound and see if it has changed in any way.
So you kind of unwrap her chest, and you see there's the basically like diamond shaped hole
Mhm.
in her chest, basically
Surprise.
just like right here.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you saw my direct message earlier.
Yes, I did.
You see that.
Hmm.
Wait, can I look down? Do I see it?
Eva's just gonna look, and if Amaris tries, she's gonna take her chin and just lift her, like, oh, no, you don't want to see this, darling.
Why?
Because you might faint. And we don't have time for that right now.
Can I get out of these clothes?
I will
Please?
get you some new ones. And we will try to just wash off the blood off you. But I'd rather you didn't see this.
Is
Trust
anybody
me.
else over by
She's-
here? Like, where's the rest of the people? Where's the rest of the gang?
Yeah, where's the rest of the gang?
Chrona is taking notes at the table.
Okay.
Fringe is probably standing by Chrona
Okay.
and like watching them write.
I think Lily's probably honestly standing guard
Okay.
outside the pillow fort.
Okay. Got it.
Like,
So yes, so Eva, there's no one near the two of them. So
She's gonna, Eva's gonna whisper and say, like, I don't want to alarm you. And I do not know what the intentions of the others will be if they find out about this. But it looks like there is black, like, let me just read what
I can
the
describe it if
GM
you'd like.
wrote. Yeah.
oh no.
If you'd
It's
like
like-
me to describe it, I can.
Yeah.
So around this hole in the middle of Amaris's chest, there are it basically looks like the wound has already festered. As there are basically like these almost same, just like the ones that are heading up to your neck. There are
Oh.
these black, almost like spider-like veins coming from the wound. And this is gonna be a little gross here, but like just inside the wound, like I said, it looks like it's already festered,
Hmm.
as if something to do with that sword
Yep, I figured that.
has caused this.
Is this from your heart, or is this from the sword, Amaris? Or does this happen every time you use your powers and it fades away?
No, this is something else.
Right.
Am I going to die?
No. No. We won't let
Don't
that
lie
happen.
to me. Don't lie to me.
Well, I've seen people survive crazier things, and I don't think you're weak enough to die of something like this.
Is there anyone who can heal it and fix me?
We can find someone. There's always someone around. Don't worry. Now, does it hurt breathing, or does it hurt maybe standing up? We need to just assess the situation.
What does it feel like? Like, what is she in pain? Is it like a numbness? Is like what are we working with here?
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
hit him with?
What are we doing? I mean, the tea has helped, and
Okay.
you are a god, so so pain is different, but the absence that you felt from your heart being gone, this absence is different. Like you just feel weaker. Like like after like you've got like a really like bad cold and you can feel it coming,
Yep.
and you try to wake up and get up to go in the morning, and it just you just feel
Yep.
sluggish. You just feel
Okay,
sluggish.
yeah. I
Obviously, there's twinges of pain because you had a sword shoved through your chest. But like
Who would have thought?
the thing that you notice the most is just like the fact that you are weaker than you were before.
Okay. I think Amaris is very pale and she is very like sun-kissed, like, oh, I tan for fun, like I'm out and having so much fun.
Mhm.
And she is as pale as paper. And I think there's like beads of like sweat on her forehead and her hair is frazzled. And I think that like manifests, like you physically notice a
Mhm.
very drastic difference than what she normally looks like. Like
I was
something's
gonna-
clearly wrong.
I was gonna stand up and she's just gonna cover so no one else kind of sees what's going on, her chest, and she's just gonna turn around to the others and be like, does anyone know a god of healing or someone that is good at infections of some sorts? Not to alarm anyone, but we'd like to have one as soon as possible. Or have you all burned bridges with everyone around you?
Is it an infection of the blood?
Is it? Does it look like it, Mr. DM?
I mean, you can investigate it. And for those of you who are still involved in the pantheons in any way, shape, or form, there are still some of those gods kicking around.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends on who wants to know one of the gods of healing. Not Fringe. All right.
I think Amaris. Did they start moving? Like, are we moving to go change to speak with them, or did you go off on your own and leave?
No,
Amaris?
so she left. She just like she's kind of
okay.
put something over, like she's kind of covering Amaris, just putting something over so not everyone sees what's going on in case she wants some privacy with it. And she walks up and goes to the others, just leaving Amaris a bit by herself. But she's talking loud enough so Amaris can hear. In case Amaris also has an answer. This is not a very big cottage, guys. This is it's a studio flat kind of deal, but a cottage.
So who would know a god of healing? Chrona? So you would know of Seraphina, who is a goddess of healing, who has basically taken up residence in Hearth, which is the capital city of the Nation of Six.
Did you get my message?
I never like it when you say that.
Why not?
It's very ominous.
It's very ominous.
What do you mean?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Is our relation, did we leave this good or bad?
Between you and that person?
Mm-hmm.
I think when you finally admitted to what you were doing, it went south.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might know someone. But I don't know if my presence is helpful.
Right. Who are they?
Seraphina.
Do I know who that is, Mr. DM?
You would all have like a general idea because there's not a lot of you left, right? So Seraphina, you would know she's kind of turned herself into almost like a celebrity doctor, like a miracle worker, in the city of Hearth.
Right. So we need to get to Hearth, then. I'm guessing. miracle doctor, all of that, and I think we do kind of need a miracle for this to work. Fringe, are you able to maybe get us create a door from here to Hearth? And any pointer, is it mostly dimensions that you work in?
I can do that.
You can? Would you be comfortable with that, Fringe?
I can do that.
Thank you. Is everyone on board with that?
I just have a quick thing really fast. Lily, where did you say you were?
Guarding.
At the door to the pillow fort.
At the door to the pillow fort. You weren't outside.
Oh,
No.
no.
Okay, never mind.
Oh, no.
Oh god. You
Oh, I
should have
don't
said
like
yes.
that. No.
You should've said
I
yes.
don't like that.
Sorry, continue on.
Can Amaris try to get to the entrance of the pillow fort?
Yeah, you can still move. You're weak, but
Okay.
you can still move.
Amaris emerges beside Lily. You can go on without me. You guys don't owe me to do this. I'm just slowing you down, and now there is a herald out for all of us.
You're not dead yet, now are you? So just letting you die would be even crueler than anything else. I think you have to take some of Lilith's advice and stop this pity party that you're on right now, because that's not going to help anyone. And I say that with the utmost affection and respect.
And can we go to this healer?
Fringe?
Now?
In the same spot they cleared last time, they moved everything off of the wall. Rather than hastily sort of tearing open the rift, they're going to draw out the door the same way they did before, and sort of stand by it.
Right.
So you're all heading to Hearth?
Mhm.
Okay. Sin, would you mind checking your messages for me?
Okay.
Really quick. But while you check that, I'm going to describe what happens. So you all walk through this door to the city of Hearth. And the city of Hearth is the metropolitan center of the nation of Six. So you basically, I would say, like, probably Fringe brought you into like a back alley or, somewhere, that where you'd be out of sight, even though portaling in a fantasy realm isn't out of the ordinary. You basically are in this middle of this huge cityscape. So there's these tall, almost like twists of steel and stone, giant, almost like near skyscrapers. You see there are like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people, of all different types moving about this space. You see there's lots of airships flying overhead, people zipping about, flying using magic and things like that. It is an incredibly, incredibly busy city. It smells of almost every possible food you could probably think of. But it is an incredibly, incredibly busy place as you all kind of portal out into this alley.
Emma is overwhelmed.
Immediately, Lily stands on her tiptoes and kind of like puts her hands on Fringe's shoulders just to bring them down a little bit and whispers in their ear, "If it gets too loud, wrap your scarf around your head and tie it. It'll muffle the noise."
They immediately do that. She's got like a little scarf like wrapped around. They wrap it over their eyes as well because they don't need it to see. So they just have this green scarf like wrapped, blindfolded, effectively over their head.
Okay.
Okay.
This is big. This is bigger than I thought it was going to be. How do we find this miracle doctor? There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people. There's a lot going on.
Yes, Amaris.
Amaris has been traveling around for 1,000 years.
Mhm.
Is there anybody she would know here that they could like go to if they needed to crash or like?
You would know a certain fling of yours based here.
Oh, okay. Who?
You would know he masquerades as a priest in a temple here.
time to text a booty call.
Yeah.
It's that booty call. Yes, Sin.
Can Chrona feverishly write directions down, hand them to Eva, and just step away for a second?
Yeah, absolutely. Directions to Seraphina, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And Eva, you feel Chrona's hands are like weirdly shaking just before they step off.
Right. There's one thing I can do is find something while we're lost. So technically this is to our advantage. Okay, I guess left we go.
Got it. Okay. So you all basically begin to well, except for Chrona, which I'm assuming Chrona, you're going where I think you're going. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. I'm gonna cover the group for now, and then we'll get to you. So the four of you basically begin to walk through the streets. And like I said, it is an incredibly busy place. You know, you all have to, kind of wiggle your way through the crowd as it's like, a busy, basically like New York street, essentially.
I hate New York. Sorry.
Sorry, New York audience. Rip.
Rip.
And you make your way. And the directions lead you kind of through the market, basically the market square, which is basically this twisting kind of what looks like there's this large center kind of town square area that leads off into almost basically these like 7 paths that lead into other market streets. So it's kind of like this big swirl if you would look at it from above.
Mm-hmm.
As you make your way through this market, again, you see all sorts of different stalls, all sorts of different people. And then you make your way up and you see a sign that says welcome to the Mother's Market. Where you see kind of like what look like more fine stalls, and shops, advertising magic items, advertising, magic itself. There's libraries, there's all sorts of things, and you arrive at probably the cleanest building out of all of them. It is like pristine white marble on the outside of this almost like pointed like chapel-like building. There is basically like no kind of closed, like a door to open or close. It's just kind of an open entryway through these 2 marble pillars into this place. But while you're walking through, Lily, how are you doing?
Really bad. I think she is just dead silent, eyes trained on the ground, hands clasped in front of her, shoulders curled in, and just walking.
Okay. Can you, for me, let's see. Can you give me a power through the darkness, please? So just roll 2d6.
7.
A 7. You're able to keep your cool. It sucks. It's not fun, and you're not going to be able to hide it very well, but nothing bad happens.
Okay.
Nothing bad happens. As this is one of those games where rolling low isn't always a bad thing.
Can I hold her hand?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fringe has probably noticed that like she's gone very, very quiet, and that's not like her. So she's just gonna feel Fringe's hand just scoop from around the front of her, and hold hers.
She's gonna give it a squeeze, but for probably the first time ever, that line is not open.
Okay. All right. So then you all walk through the front door, and you see there are like a set of like 4 chairs on either side of this place. With there's people sitting there. There's like a lady rocking her baby. There's kind of like an older gentleman like coughing. You see a bunch of people. There's like all this beautiful art of all these like beautiful landscapes and things. And then there's like a single marble desk at the front of this place where you see there is a woman with dark hair, kind of tied up in a high ponytail. She's got 2 twisted black horns kind of rolling up from the top of her forehead, almost like deep teal like skin. As you see, she is a tiefling sitting behind this desk. and she's got kind of glasses sitting on the edge of her nose, and she's just writing. Oh, hello. Welcome to Seraphina's clinic. How may I help you today?
We're here to see Seraphina.
Do you have an appointment?
No, but we have a friend who's dying, so we'd like to see her straight away if that's all right.
You know, and as she kind of like sets the clipboard down, she goes, "We get that a lot. And as much as we appreciate it, you know, Seraphina's schedule is quite busy and quite full. So can your friend last for 2 weeks next Thursday?"
Would you like
No.
her schedule to be busier and fuller?
I'm sorry?
I'm terribly sorry. My name is Lilliale, and I'm barely keeping it together at the moment.
Okay.
And I'm sure if you brought that up to her, please do say my name, and tell her that I'm here present in this city at this moment. And I'm sure perhaps if you deliver that information, it might change. Just that I'm
Okay.
really keeping it together right now. If you could deliver that. Thank you so much. I really
Of course.
appreciate it.
Of course,
Thank
we'll
you.
do.
You should do it right now. I'm very serious.
And she goes, right away. If you take a seat, I'll let her know.
Amaris puts a hand on the desk.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Oh, my name? It's
Random fantasy name generator.
it is Genevieve.
Well, Genevieve, is Seraphina, or is it Seraphine? Seraphina?
Seraphina.
Is Seraphina in the building?
Oh yes, she's with a patient in the back.
Where's the door to go to the back?
It's literally right behind her.
Thank you. And Amaris is going to attempt to walk.
And she goes, I'm sorry, you can't go back there. She is with a patient at the moment. And so you will have to wait your turn.
Darling,
Yes.
you are going to sit down now.
You're going to make me lose my job.
Oh.
You won't have a job.
You don't need
if-
to be worried about that. You won't have a job if she doesn't see to me.
I'm sorry, that sounds very dramatic, but it is actually true because the world is ending and we do need some help. So just sit down. If you need to maybe take a break, and we will just tell Seraphina what had happened. Don't you worry, she will understand. All right? Lily. Look, I was gonna say Lily because I'm precious. Emma's just gonna walk with Amaris. And just like, come on, Lily, let's go.
So you see Genevieve steps to the side, and you see she sits down at the desk, and you see she clicks something underneath the desk. As you all walk through the door.
Here we go.
Here we go.
And
Here we go.
You walk into, and you see like a doctor's office. You see like an examination table.
Please join us.
There's a bunch of medical equipment and things. And you see Seraphina is in the midst of what looks like making out with someone.
Oh, great. So
Yeah, go
I know
ahead.
this. I know this important. So this is the very important, appointment that we couldn't, interrupt. I see. So sorry, Seraphina, but the world is ending, and we do have a friend here that needs a bit of healing. I know you don't know who we are, but I promise you, this is the utmost importance.
Is she an old god or a young god?
She is an older god, as she like whips around and like basically shoves this man away, basically against the wall. And you see what Seraphina looks like is she has like basically blonde hair that rolls all the way down to her hips. She's currently in a white like doctor's coat, with what looks, these very, very like nice, almost like violet scrubs underneath. She's got kind of these gold rimmed glasses around her nose. And she's adorned with a lot of gold jewelry. And she's got these almost like, what's the best way to describe it? Like just almost neon blue eyes, just like these incredibly bright blue eyes. As she turns to face you and she goes, and you all can recognize one another. You know what I mean? Like, like gods can recognize gods. And she goes, "Oh, hello, everyone. I'm sorry. Get out." And you see the boy, the guy just kind of scuttles out. And she goes, what do you want? What do you need?
I need you to fix me. And she opens her shawl to show the wound.
God, what happened to you?
You got stabbed
got
by a
s-
sword.
And I'm
What?
starting to think the sword is, well, not a normal
And
sword.
you see,
Otherwise, it wouldn't be doing
she kind of like
this.
push, like almost like kind of palms you like by the back of the head, and almost kind of like just dips you down to look, and then like moves over to the examination table, and she goes, "What sword stabbed you?"
It's from a herald,
6'4".
celestial being.
That explains it.
Can you fix it or not?
Yes, I can stem it.
What does that mean?
Well, you see, whatever you were stabbed by is very clearly meant to kill things like us.
Well, you're a miracle worker, correct?
Yes, yes,
So you can perform a miracle.
I can.
So do it.
What this wound is some of your divinity was taken, Amaris.
Seems to be a running theme.
Yes. I can restore. I can at least make it so that it doesn't get worse. I can't put it back, but I can make it so it doesn't get worse.
Do it.
But she will live and be fine, correct?
Correct. Just don't get stabbed by it again.
Oh,
We can't promise that. However,
Well, that's on you. That's I can't.
that is-
no, I can assure I do not
Yes.
want to get stabbed again and will do everything in my power not to get stabbed again. Now, what do you have to do to fix me? Do you require
Oh,
payment?
it's just lay back, and she just kind of puts two fingers on your head and pushes you down so you lay on the table. And
Dramatic scroll.
as she just basically kind of pulls her hands together, and we see this kind of almost like when you do the cradle thing with yarn, kind of like pulls that, kind of rolls it a bit so then it forms almost like a diamond made up of all these different strands, and you see she like places it down over the hole in your chest, and you can see basically I won't get into too much detail, but you can see the wound begin to kind of stitch itself back up as she kind of pulls it together, and you see where it used to be kind of this diamond shaped hole, it's now just this almost like black line, almost like this black scar in the middle of Amaris's chest. And then she goes and flip. And then she does the same thing for the wound.
Dramatic
on your
clip
back.
of hair too.
Just the same thing for the wound on your back. So you have basically this black scar here on the front and on
All
the back.
right.
Eva whispers to Seraphina, like, she does care about her looks. Would you maybe make the scar not black? Would that be possible?
Of course.
You know I can hear you.
Don't worry. Shh. Don't worry about her, Mars.
And you see she then waves her hand, and you can see the scar kind of it loses its dark kind of ashen like color and transitions into kind of closer to your skin.
Thank you.
Well, what was this about the world ending?
Oh, didn't you hear the trumpets?
I did, and I ignored them. I'm quite busy.
That might be the problem. So the world is technically ending.
Again?
Yeah.
Are we going to get our divinity back this time? Or are we going to get weaker?
We're going to not exist if the world does end. So we're trying to figure out how to not do that and get our divinity back fully.
Oh. Well, if you do figure that out, please let me know.
Oh, absolutely. I do apologize. I do have one question. I know that you're quite busy.
Mhm.
Now, please don't get mad when I say this name or
Sure.
question.
Sure.
Chrona is someone you know, and I know that you did not.
And you
end
see,
in good terms.
it's like she's just smelled something that stinks as her face changes from this kind of bright smile to this just.
No, I
What
know
about
that is.
Chrona?
I just have a question of what was it that they were working on something that you found out that you did not like.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
Well, and we're gonna cut over to Chrona.
God.
But like, who's touching my things?
Don't worry about it, bestie.
So
Don't worry
you-
about it.
Chrona, you basically like walk into your workshop like you normally do, and you see there is stuff everywhere. There are tables thrown, desks broken, chairs smashed, papers everywhere. Like, it is a disaster. And you see, in the midst of this disaster, there are cracked black pieces on the ground. And you know what I'm talking about.
You see, Chrona's gonna stand there, panicked at first, but seeing the cracked black pieces, there's almost like this smile that breaks across Chrona's face. And they're immediately gonna get kind of on their hands and knees and look for any sign of movement.
You hear rummaging in a side room.
I'm gonna quietly like crawl across the floor to there and start kind of pulling in my pockets for anything edible.
So as you crawl into this room, again, you see the same kind of scene. Like this side room this study has been torn asunder. And you see like book, as you enter the room, you kind of almost stop. It's like a book kind of slams into your face, or like it slams near your face. And then another book flies. And you realize what you thought you would have been looking for is much different than what you actually find. As you see standing at this bookshelf, throwing books, you see what looks like, well, presently they have no clothes on. And they are about 6'1", 6'2", long, dark, shaggy hair, black hair to their shoulders, and this almost like ashen gray skin. As they look to be like, and that's all you see from behind as they're grabbing fucking books and just chucking them, like frustratedly looking for something.
I'm just gonna gently knock on the wall beside me.
And you turn and you see their eyes are this kind of deep, almost like deep red with a slit down the middle. Basically like this kind of black slit as they whip around and then just staring at you, almost like this kind of like feral look on their face. And they go, "Where am I?"
You're in my tower.
And who the fuck are you?
I'm gonna hold my hand out with like some jerky that I found in my pocket bag. I'm Chrona.
And you see they just kind of consider you for a while. They snatch the food out of your hand and just kind of like almost hungrily stuff it into their mouth. What do you do?
I'm watching this unfold, fighting so hard to take notes. Like, I'm fighting the urge to.
Okay.
You're a lot different than I expected.
What do you mean than what you expected?
Well, typically things look a certain way when they come out of eggs.
And you just see like their face are just going through so many different anger, confusion, like they're like so lost. What am I?
Let's get you settled before we get too into it.
And you see they take an like you can feel the aggression kind of rolling off of them as they take a step forward towards you. What am I?
I mean, at this point, I'm not quite sure. A relative of death, maybe.
And we're gonna cut back to the actually, gang. I think as the camera begins to pull back from that scene,
No,
Camera
it
begins to
doesn't.
pull back.
Alec, I don't think it does.
It pans
actually.
back to Hearth, and it rolls up into the sky. As nobody really notices people going about their day, except we see this astronomer, like in his observatory, looking up, and you see him like looking to one of Novum's sun, and then he looks to another one of Novum's suns, and we see him kind of going back and forth. The suns have stopped moving. And that's where we're going to stop for tonight. Thanks you all so much for joining us for episode 4 of Rapture. I hope you had fun. I know I did. Leave me out of costume decisions, will you? I have been Alec Bard, your game master. I'm going to toss it off to my players to say goodbye real quick. We're going to start with Kayla. Say goodbye.
That's me. Hi, I'm Kayla. You can find me at Court of Kayla. And I played Amaris, who is definitely very healthy and has no self-destructive tendencies at all. Sin, take it away from me.
Oh god, hello, I'm Sin. You can find me as sensationally.me. I play Chrona, and I'm just vibing with my son, Toby.
I'm Toby. I play Fringe. Find me at toby.exe on everything. And Fringe has done nothing of use this session other than be the party's teleport monkey. Hulda.
Hi, my name is Hulda. You can find me as a Hobbit's Tale or Hobbit's Tale, depending on which platform you are on. And I play Eva. And I am so confused right now, and I need to know what's going on. Brooke.
Hi, I'm Brooke. You can find me at Brooksmart on most platforms. I play Lily, and I'm also confused, but I love little guys, so I'm sure it's fine.
Thank you all so much for joining us for episode 4 of Rapture. We will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.